Whatever you may think about Michele Bachmann, she clearly is not afraid to speak her mind. That was obvious at the Republican presidential debate in Iowa last night.
Sometimes Congresswoman Bachmann doesn't get her facts very accurate.
This isn't just once. I think it's outrageous to continue to say over and over through the debates that I don't have my facts right, when as a matter of fact, I do. I'm a serious candidate for President of the United States.
And Congresswoman Michele Bachmann is joining us now from Iowa. Congresswoman, thanks very much. That was quite a little exchange you had with Newt Gingrich. We just played the soundbite. Does he take you seriously? What do you think?
Well, frankly, I thought that it was outrageous and insulting the way that he seemed to treat me like I was a student, and I'm not. I'm a serious candidate for President of the United States, and I had my facts right, and he has said this repeatedly, and he's just not true. He's memory challenged. But I'm thrilled to be with you today. I'm here in Orange City, Iowa, in Sioux County. We're having a great time here today. There's a lot of young people here. We've had a wonderful meeting here in Orange City.
Do you think Newt Gingrich has a different attitude towards you as a prospective presidential candidate because you're a woman?
Well, you know, I don't know. You'd really have to ask him that question, because I don't know the thoughts and intentions of his heart, but I thought that it was condescending and talking down to me, and that's something that I don't think anyone should do to any other candidate.
I asked the question only because it dawned on me the way the exchange and your reaction to him. Also because some women and some men, for sure, have some problems with Newt Gingrich because he has been married 3 times. Is that an issue in this campaign?
Well, that's something that the voters will make a decision about. It's a part of the whole package when they look at the candidates. Who are we? What's our character? What's our life experience? What are we going to do for the country? What are our policy positions? What have we done before for the country? What has our voting record been? And so I think all of that together will be part of the composite when voters go to the polls. And of course, here in Iowa, January 3rd is the very first voice that any American gets to weigh in on who will be the next president. That's why I'm here in Orange City today, to ask people for their vote on January 3rd, because I'm the one true constitutional conservative in this race, and I want to be the next president of the United States so I can put the country back on the right frame and create millions of high-paying jobs.
Ron Paul had an angry exchange with you at the debate as well. And let me play a little excerpt of the back and forth.
To me, the greatest danger is that we will have a president that will overreact, that we will soon bomb Iran.
And with all due respect to Ron Paul, I think I have never heard a more dangerous answer for American security than the one that we just heard from Ron Paul.
But Ron Paul, Congresswoman, potentially could win in Iowa. He's doing well in the polls. What does that say to you about the state of the Republican Party if, and it's still a big if Ron Paul were to win in Iowa?
Well, I'm intending to win here in Iowa. We're showing very well, and we have a lot of excited crowds everywhere that we go. And I think we're exactly poised where we need to be to prevail on January 3rd. We've seen almost like a political Wall Street in the last few months, with candidates going up and candidates going down. But I won the all-important Iowa straw poll, and I think on January 3rd, Iowans are going to come back, because they've been looking, and it's a good thing. Iowans are very independent thinkers. They want to know who will be the best candidate to go toe-to-toe with Barack Obama. I'm the candidate who's already gone toe-to-toe with Barack Obama on Obamacare, Dodd-Frank, illegal immigration, cap and trade, taxpayer-funded abortion. I'm proven in that arena, and I will hold President Obama accountable in the debates, and I'll emerge victorious. I will be that president.
But why do you say that Ron Paul, the answer he gave on Iran, for example, was among the most dangerous answers you've ever heard as far as American national security is concerned? He says he's a non-interventionist as opposed to an isolationist.
Well, it's because, quite frankly, the #1 issue that we have in the world right now with foreign policy is Iran obtaining a nuclear weapon. Why is that a problem? Because already the religious leaders and the president of Iran have stated unequivocally They will use a nuclear weapon to wipe Israel, our ally, off the face of the map. They will use a nuclear weapon against the United States. It isn't just an idle threat. They mean it. So much so that Ahmadinejad was here in the United States in September, and he said in August as well that he wants to eradicate Israel from the face of the earth. I don't take this as idle chatter. I think that if there's anything that history has taught us in the last 100 years, it's this. When a madman speaks, listen, take them seriously. I'm privileged to sit on the House Intelligence Committee. We deal with national security and the nation's classified secrets. And we have an IAEA report, the International Atomic Energy Agency report, that stated unequivocally, we are looking at the very real potential and threat of Iran obtaining a nuclear weapon. We don't have definitives on exactly when something like that would come online, but we need to err on the side of caution in keeping the American people safe. And as President of the United States and as Commander-in-Chief, that's exactly what I'll do.
How disappointed were you today to learn that Nikki Haley, the governor of South Carolina, like you, a Tea Party favorite, has endorsed Mitt Romney?
Well, I really like Nikki Haley. I think she's a wonderful governor in South Carolina. I've gotten to be a good friend of hers. Of course, I was disappointed. Of course, I would have loved to have had her endorsement, but I highly respect her, and I'm very pleased to be able to say that I have so many people that have come over to endorse me in South Carolina, whether it's Representative Ralph Norman or whether it's Tea Party leaders or evangelical leaders. The most important endorsement I'll need is on the night of the primary in South Carolina, and we think with the cannon shot that we're going to get out of Iowa that we'll do very well in South Carolina.
How much will this help Mitt Romney with the Tea Party activists? Because that so far hasn't necessarily been his strength.
Well, I think people recognize that in the race, I truly am the only Tea Party candidate. I started the Tea Party caucus in Washington, D.C., because I believe in the voice of the Tea Party. And I brought the Tea Party to Washington, 40,000 strong, to fight against the government takeover of health care. That's people who believe we're taxed enough already. They believe that government shouldn't spend more than what we take in, and they believe that government should act within the Constitution. That's a pretty mainstream agenda, and that's an agenda that I've led on as a member of Congress, but also as an independent citizen. And as President of the United States, it's that Tea Party voice also that I'll be representing as president in the White House.
One national security question, Congresswoman. If you were president and the U.S. lost a super sensitive drone over Iran, what would you do?
Well, first of all, I would hope that we would have the technology in place to be able to destroy that drone if it was in any other nation's territory. But I would make sure that we would seek to obtain that drone back in United States hands. I think it's just absolutely appalling what Barack Obama has done. He's just saying, as Mitt Romney said last night, pretty please, to Iran to give it back. That's ridiculous. We need to have a president who's a very strong individual. I will be that strong commander-in-chief.
Well, what would you have done? Would you have sent in a mission to go get that drone? Would you have bombed it, flown over Iranian airspace? What would you have done?
Well, of course, it's not prudent to say as a president what I would do ahead of time. I wouldn't be ever communicating to the enemy what my intents will be and what level of force I would use, only to send the signal. Don't try it. If I'm president of the United States, don't even bother trying.
Michele Bachmann, good luck in Iowa out there. We'll stay in touch.
Hey, we're great. Hey, everybody say hi to Wolf. Hi, Wolf. Good to see you from Orange City, Wolf. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks very much. A foreign policy based on pretty please. You just heard it. That's how Mitt Romney is characterizing President Obama's handling of that U.S. drone that crashed in Iran. We're going to talk about that and a lot more. What advice does James Carville have for the Obama campaign? Stand by. Plus, a day in court for the U.S. soldier accused of leaking hundreds of thousands of documents to WikiLeaks. What did Bradley Manning say? Our Brian Todd is on the scene.